Right. So are you ready to like jump into something pretty interesting?
Always ready for a good deep dive.
This one's about a research paper on chatbots
Oh, cool.
and how to use chatbots to teach people about,
More chatbots.
yeah, more chatbots. Kind of a meta, right?
It's very self-referential for sure, but
But at its core, it's about making like tough subjects.
much easier to learn.
Yeah, and who doesn't love a good chatbot? So
Absolutely.
this paper is from 2024, pretty recent,
Yeah.
from the Australasian Conference on Information Systems
Okay.
by Nagel, Wolters, Rail, and Delfman.
Gotcha.
And it's called Designing an Intelligent Tutoring Chatbot for Declarative Process Modeling Education.
Catchy title.
Yeah, so basically creating a chatbot that teaches you a way to design processes.
Using the process. It's teaching, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So before we jump into all the chatbot stuff,
Okay.
let's talk about these declarative process models that the paper's all about.
Right.
Can you give us the simple explanation?
So imagine you're planning a road trip. You wouldn't like write out every single step. Right.
No, I'd be way too focused on the destination.
Exactly. And that's what these DPMs are all about. It's
Okay.
about the what, not the how.
So less like a recipe, more like guidelines.
Precisely. And this paper looks at a type of DPM language called declare.
Okay.
And the researchers made this chatbot because declare can be really hard to learn.
Oh, really? Why is that?
It uses this complicated web of constraints, which are difficult to understand, especially when they interact in weird ways.
So it's not just the rules, but how they all work together.
Right. It's like saying you must eat at least one apple a day, but also you must never eat apples.
Oh, conflicting rules.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of conflict can really trip up learners.
I see, yeah.
And the chatbot helps people navigate these tricky spots.
Okay, so I'm starting to get why a chatbot could be really helpful here.
Yeah.
But how do you go from just like a fun chatbot
Yay.
to a teacher explaining these complex things?
That's where things get really cool. They use the principles of Intelligent Tutoring Systems,
Ooh.
or ITs. These use AI and LLMs.
Like ChatGPT, right?
Exactly. And these LLMs let the chatbot personalize things.
So it's not just giving generic responses.
Yeah, it's like having a really patient tutor who
Yeah.
can adjust
Oh, cool.
how they teach you based on how you're doing.
I like that.
In fact, they use this thing called the IceCap framework.
The ICAP framework, what's that?
It basically says that moving from like passive stuff,
Yeah, right.
like just reading, to more active stuff,
Ah.
like problem solving,
Okay.
leads to you understanding and remembering better.
I see.
And the chatbot is designed to encourage this by using different types of questions,
Okay.
from easy, true, or false to tougher, open-ended ones.
So it's making you think.
Yes, definitely. Much more of a tutor than just a study buddy.
Gotcha. Okay, so now I want to get into like the nitty gritty.
Right.
How does this thing actually work?
Okay, let's take a pick.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
It's pretty sophisticated, but we can break it down into
Right.
4 main parts.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, the user interface.
That's what you see there.
Yeah, the chat window, you type, you read the responses.
Makes sense. Okay, what else is going on?
Behind that, there are chatbot assistants.
Assistants.
Yeah, think of them like specialized departments handling different tasks.
Oh, okay.
So you might have one explaining new declare concepts,
Okay.
another creating practice tasks, and another helping with problems.
So it's not just one big chatbot doing everything.
Exactly, a whole team.
Oh, cool.
Now, to do all that, they use different tools.
Tools.
Think of them as like specific functions they can use.
Okay.
Like one might make practice problems,
Okay.
and another checks your answers.
So each assistant has its own toolkit.
Precisely.
Neat. Then what's the last piece?
That would be the algorithms.
Oh, it goes.
They're like the brains behind it all.
Okay.
Letting the chatbot understand, declare, process your input, and make responses.
So if the tools are the hands, algorithms are the brains.
You got it.
I like that analogy.
One interesting thing from the paper.
Yeah.
To be accurate, the chatbot uses pre-programmed algorithms for some tasks.
Oh, so it's not just the LLM making things up.
Right. Especially for straightforward questions.
Okay.
It has solid logic built in.
So it's a balance between LLM flexibility and
Reliability.
right. That's pretty cool.
It makes it engaging, but also accurate.
Now, building a chatbot is one thing,
Right.
but did it actually work as a teaching tool?
They did put it to the test.
I bet. What happened?
They did a small study to see how people interacted with it.
Okay.
Overall, it was really positive.
People liked using it.
Yeah, they found it more engaging than traditional learning.
That makes sense.
And they liked that it remembered what you talked about before.
Oh, yeah. No one likes to repeat themselves.
Exactly.
Are there any downsides?
Some people thought the explanations were a bit long
Oh, okay.
and wanted more visuals.
That makes sense.
But one of the best findings
Yeah.
was that it could adjust the difficulty based on how you were doing.
Oh, wow. So like personalized learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you were breezing through, it would make it tougher.
Yeah.
And if you struggled, it gave more help.
So it adapts to each person.
Yeah, really cool.
Any memorable quotes from people using it?
One person said, the idea itself is super cool because that's the problem with Declare. It's just difficult to understand as a human. And then having to wade through literature is certainly not the best way.
Yeah, no kidding. Who likes reading those long documents?
Exactly.
This chatbot sounds like it could make learning Declare much easier.
And even enjoyable.
Right.
Huh.
But first,
Yeah.
what's next for this bot? What are they working on?
So they're working on some pretty cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, remember how some people thought the explanations were too long
Yeah.
and wanted more visuals? Well, they're adding more visual elements to the chatbot's teaching.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you can actually see it in action.
Exactly. It makes it way easier to understand.
Yeah, for sure. What else are they doing?
They're also adding multilingual support.
Oh, wow. So more people can use it.
Yeah, no matter what language they speak.
That's fantastic. Breaking down those barriers.
Right. And they're also working on a user management system.
Okay, what will that do?
It'll let the chatbot track your progress
How cool.
and really personalize things.
So it's like remembering what you're good at and what you need help with.
Exactly. And then it adjusts the tasks and explanations just for you.
That's amazing. Like
Yeah.
a custom learning plan.
Yeah. It shows how AI can really change education.
Totally. And this isn't just about this chatbot, right?
No, it's a bigger trend.
We're seeing AI being used to make learning more fun and effective,
And accessible, too.
right? It's like we're on the verge of a whole new way of learning.
Sure. Where anything is possible.
But we can't forget about the human side of things, right?
Absolutely. Technology is great, but
It can't replace real teachers.
right, it's about using tech to help teachers, not replace them.
Yeah, because there's something special about learning from a passionate person.
Totally. They can inspire you in a way that tech just can't.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah,
Okay.
using tech and human connection together.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly. And this brings us back to that question from before.
About what other fields could use a chatbot tutor.
Right. So we saw how well it worked for Declare,
Yeah.
but imagine applying these same ideas.
To like anything you wanted to learn.
Yeah. What would be your dream chatbot tutor?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So many possibilities.
What if there was a chatbot for learning to code,
Oh, that would be cool.
right? Coding always seems so complicated to me.
It can be tough to get started.
But with a chatbot to guide you, breaking it down step by step,
And giving you feedback along the way.
it could make it so much easier.
Yeah, way less intimidating.
What about you? What would your dream chatbot teach you?
I've always struggled with statistics,
Oh, yeah.
all those formulas and stuff.
Yeah, it can be confusing.
But a chatbot could explain it in a way that I understand.
And maybe walk you through some examples?
Exactly. And then I could finally analyze data without feeling lost.
That would be awesome.
It would be like having a stats tutor whenever I needed one.
Available 24/7.
Right. And think about things like philosophy or history.
Yeah.
So much reading and complex ideas.
A chatbot could help you break it all down.
Exactly. Highlight the main points, ask you questions, make it more engaging.
It's like having a personal guide through all that information.
Yeah, it could really change how we learn those subjects.
This is making me so excited about the future of learning.
Me too. Imagine anyone can learn anything, no matter who they are or where they are.
That's the power of these chatbots.
They can make knowledge accessible to everyone.
It's incredible. But there are challenges, right?
Of course, we have to be careful with how we use this technology.
We need to think about the ethics and make sure it's used responsibly.
But the potential is just too big to ignore.
Absolutely. But before we get carried away, I have one last question for our listeners. Okay, so we talked about this chatbot that teaches Declare.
Right, and all the other fields that could benefit from this.
Yeah, but here's what I want you to think about.
Okay.
All the cool stuff we learned about how this chatbot works,
Yeah.
the personalized learning, the interactive challenges, the instant feedback.
It's a pretty powerful combination.
Right. Now imagine applying that to anything you wanted to learn.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
What would your dream chatbot tutor be like?
Wow, that's That's a really great question.
It makes you think about your own learning,
It
right?
really does, yeah.
What would you learn if you had this AI tutor?
So many possibilities.
Would you learn a new language? Or master astrophysics?
Maybe finally learn to cook.
Right. The possibilities really are endless.
It's pretty amazing to think about.
And maybe someday, your dream chatbot tutor will exist.
I hope so.
But for now, we hope this deep dive has gotten you thinking about new ways to learn.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you.
And with you. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Keep learning.
Until next time, keep diving deep.